said
All right, everybody, welcome back here to another episode of Club Talks. As always, it's your main host, Andrew, here. And I got three special guests here from our teen center. I got my man, CJ.
What's up?
I also got Carter. And I also got Cam. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. This is their first time ever on the podcast here. So we are going to be introducing them because they are going to be our sports commentators, our sports show talk people. We are going to start off our first episode talking about the 2024 NFL Wild Card Playoffs. Now, this is I'm actually excited for this year's playoffs. Normally, if the Browns aren't in it, I'm a huge Browns fan. If they're not in it, I don't really follow it too much. I mean, I definitely watch the games, but I could care less on who wins. But obviously, since the Browns are in it, I want the Browns to win.
Yeah,
But
my
Yes.
favorite
But
team didn't make it by a landslide.
who's your favorite team?
Titans.
Ooh.
They did horrible. They got the 7th pick though.
They
so.
did. I
They're
think
gonna take-
their coach just got fired today, by the way.
Oh,
Who?
Mike Vrabel.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. And I think Derrick Henry's on his way out. He
Oh,
said his
yeah.
final goodbyes.
He's gonna
So
leave.
yeah, he did.
Derrick Henry, my prediction, going to be a Cowboy next year.
Ooh.
But we're gonna talk about what we're gonna do is we have the stats, we have predictions that we're gonna go over, and we're gonna talk about who we think is going to come away with wins here in the first week of Wild Card Saturday and Sunday or Wild Card weekend. So our first matchup that we're going to discuss is a pretty popular one right now. We got the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are the number one in the AFC East, finishing 11-6. And then you have Miami, who actually fell to, I believe it was the 6th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
because the Bills won.
the Bills did win. Did you guys watch any of that game?
I saw the highlights.
The
of it.
highlights. This is a good game because somebody's returning to Arrowhead Stadium. You guys know who it is.
Tyreek Hill.
Now, what are your guys'
Cheetah.
opinions? Cam, what's your opinions on Tyreek Hill as a player overall? Do you think he's a top 5 receiver?
Yeah, I think he's top 3.
Top 3. Okay.
Devontae Adams.
I would
not,
agree
not
with
gonna
that.
lie, he's kind of falling down. He's getting a little.
Devontae Adams. I will say I think Devontae Adams is a top receiver. I just think he needs to be on a better
He
team.
ain't staying in Las Vegas.
We'll see. So, CJ, do you think that Tyreek Hill is a top receiver in the league as well?
Yes.
What kind of numbers are we expecting to put? What can the Chiefs do to stop
Nothing.
this man?
Nothing. They don't have
They
the
can't-
corners.
They don't have the corners.
I
Who are
d-
they gonna put?
Tyreek
I will
is
say they have L'Jarius Sneed.
Nobody can guard him.
I feel like he's not somebody that's necessarily talked about a lot.
Tyreek
but
Hill
he
will
is-
leave.
He's an underrated player, in my opinion. L'Jarius Sneed, he's probably their best corner. He has 78 tackles, and he has 2 picks on the season. He also has 14 passes deflected as well. So he's going to be their number 1 corner. I would expect a lot of zone coverage against Tyreek because if you go man-to-man, you already know what's happening.
Sneak.
See,
Sneak's
here's
fast.
Tyreek Hill is absolutely dusting Trent McDuffie or
Oh, yeah,
Sneed.
they do have Trent McDuffie. I forgot about
No,
Trent
he-
McDuffie.
They're both young corners that can do great stuff, but they just they need to develop more.
And
in
they
my
don't
opinion.
they don't have the Honey Badger and Tyrann Matthew back there at safety
Oh yeah,
anymore.
they don't
so
anymore.
He's over.
Wait, what team is he on? The Saints?
he's on the Saints now.
I thought so.
So what do you guys think? So looking at the Dolphins, what do you think is their biggest weakness right now?
Oh, I got it.
Defense.
Yeah,
I would say they've lost a lot of people injury wise here.
their
They still
defense.
They lost Bradley Chubb to
Bradley
an
Chubb.
ACL
Jalen
tear.
Phillips,
But I-
same Achilles.
Bro got juked so hard that he literally tore his ACL.
I will
If
say
you
though,
watched it live, you would know.
David Long Jr. Has 113.
Yep,
tackles.
David Long is their leading tackler with
And
113.
Jalen Ramsey with 3 picks.
Yep, they
And
do have that.
I feel bad for the Chiefs because I don't know how Mahomes is gonna. Their receivers
See,
are terrible.
I'm
This
glad that
is-
you said that.
I'm going to see a lot of zone defense. I want Jalen Ramsey to guard Travis Kelce because
Ooh.
their wide receivers have bricks of hands.
That's what I'm glad that you
Actually,
said
yeah.
that. CJ, Patrick Mahomes, in your opinion, top quarterback in the league, right?
No.
No,
Who's
not
who,
this
is he your
season.
top 3 at least?
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
I don't know about this season.
Okay, I'm saying just not
yeah.
necessarily this season.
I'll give you my
Yeah,
top 3.
right now
Yes,
then,
top
yes.
You got Lamar,
Mhm.
Mahomes, and then I would probably put Allen.
Josh Allen,
Yes.
And then
Have you seen
Lamar.
how-
Oh, wait,
then-
you said
Yeah,
Lamar.
I said Lamar at number
and then
1.
fourth right now, I'm gonna have to go with Tua.
Yeah, don't say Hurts. He's been terrible.
Now
Hurts, I would say
let's look at
5.
Patrick Mahomes. He has 4,183 yards on the season. He has 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. So Tua actually has
better.
29 touchdowns, 14 picks. So he's thrown 2 more touchdowns. But
More picks.
he has been sacked 29 times. Mahomes has been sacked 27. So
Because Mahomes has the more legs.
I think Mahomes
Mahomes
has
can run.
more of the creative aspect. But I don't know. I think it was Cam who said the receivers, it is just not looking too good over
Yeah,
there.
you got to put Ramsey on Kelsey because
Yeah.
I mean-
Mahomes is going to try to feed the ball. I know the Chiefs are going to try to mix stuff up. I think they're going to try to do a couple of trick plays to throw that defense
See,
off.
they had this one play called Snow Globe
I remember that.
that they did against the Raiders, I think, like 2 years ago, and it worked.
The Chiefs' offense just isn't the same as it was. I mean, Travis Kelsey.
When they
he's-
lost
Travis
Ty.
Kelsey's Travis Kelsey.
No, hear me out. Travis Kelsey's not going to be in the league for that much longer. You know
Yeah.
how old he is?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got at least 3 to 4
He's
more years.
34.
He's got like 3 to 4 years.
Nah,
maybe.
I think he's got like
But-
2
Kelsey-
years left in the
Kelsey's
tank.
34 years old.
I think
Who do you guys think though is going to come? Let's start CJ predictions. Who's going to win? Score.
Ooh,
Who do you think is going to win?
score and who?
Score and who do you think is going to win? We got the Chiefs or the Dolphins. First round of the playoffs. Or just give me who you think's going to win.
Dolphins.
Carter
do you
says Dolphins. Who you say, CJ?
Dolphins.
Dolphins?
I got score. I'm gonna say it's a pretty close game.
I think
though.
it's going to be a very close game.
I'm gonna go 14-10.
14-10 Dolphins?
Yeah.
Cam, who you got?
14-10 Dolphins.
I got score. I got Dolphins 27-24.
Ooh.
27. This is my thing. I have a hard time going against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I think with the injuries that the Dolphins have faced on defense,
Yeah, he could. Pat could turn.
I'm gonna
up
say
and
I'm gonna
then-
say 23-20
Probably.
Kansas City Chiefs.
No, you want to hear it's crazy? L'Jarius Sneed played that entire season, and Jalen Ramsey didn't, and
He still had more interceptions.
still had more.
All right, moving on to our next game. This is probably, I would say, more of a boring game, in my opinion. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I will say, at the beginning of the season, I think the Eagles were a clear favorite to win. They started off like
Yeah, they started out very strong.
very strong, like one loss, and now
But-
they are 1-5 in their last 6 games.
Yeah,
I
you know
believe.
why? They've
Tell me, Carter.
their team, I feel like, has been slacking because they're like, oh yeah, we're about to cruise to like another Super
They don't
Bowl.
have run.
And then they started to lose. Bro, how do you lose to the Arizona Cardinals?
This is true. Now, looking at so, Cam, tell me a little bit about Baker Mayfield. What's
All right.
Baker Mayfield's stats this
So-
season?
He has been going.
Baker
crazy.
got
4,000 yards.
4,444 yards, a 64% completion,
How many touchdowns he
28
got?
touchdowns. He got 10 interceptions.
Only 10 interceptions.
But hear me out. He got sacked 40 times.
Wow.
Oh.
Now, that's definitely. Now,
Yeah. Here's the thing. The Buccaneers don't have the defensive line to get through the Eagles' offensive
this
line.
is true. They do have Vita Vea. Who's a
Vita
great,
Vea could.
he's a
maybe.
great defensive tackle.
They
They
have
have.
Shaquille Barrett, who's a dog.
Yeah,
Who?
I don't know. Shaq Barrett.
Mike.
Shaq Barrett.
Ooh, he is a dog.
They got good linebackers in
And
Levante
then-
David.
No, hear me out.
The Bucks have like the most underrated wide receiver in Mike Evans. He doesn't get that much love, but
He doesn't.
he is 1,255 yards.
He does.
I feel bad for this team because I do not think they are going to be able to get that run offense starting against that D line. I like.
You
that.
don't think the Buckets will have a good run
No.
game? I would
No.
agree. I think here's the
Yeah.
thing. Looking at on paper, the Eagles have one of the best defenses in the league. They have Jordan Davis, they have great corners in Darius Slay, James Bradbury. They also just got Kevin Byard from the Titans and one of the best safeties in the league. They got a lot of young talent.
Stop making me feel bad.
Sorry,
Stop.
Carter. I know Carter's a Titans fan.
So they also have, I don't know how to pronounce this man's name, but this cornerback has 3 interceptions on the season.
Antonio Winfield, that's their safety for the
Oh,
Bucks.
that's their safety.
This is, I think,
He is one of the most underrated safeties.
Yeah.
I would say he's like a top 5 safety.
I think Levante David's going to go off. I'm predicting Levante to at least get 2 picks this game.
2 picks from Levante David.
I'm gonna say not 2 picks, but I'm gonna say 2 sacks.
Two
That's
sa-
what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I don't know because he normally rushes through the middle, and you have to go through Jason Kelsey.
That's
This is
a
true.
good.
Jason
that's
Kelsey
good
is a
boy.
dog.
And he only runs through the middle. I've never seen that man run from the edge.
He's ran from the edge before, but he doesn't
But they
do
have
it
Shaq
much.
Barrett, so why does he have to run from the
All
edge?
right, so let's try to look at the Eagles team. The Eagles, they obviously have got a decent running back in DeAndre Swift, who has 229 carries for 1,049 yards. And plus, on that, they have Jalen Hurts, who is one of the best running QBs. And I'm going to predict there's about to be like two tush pushes.
Underrated. This man's on both of their things.
Keep going, Cam.
As a safety, he is Reed Blackship with
Reed Blankenship.
Blankenship, my bad, with 113 tackles and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, Reed Blankenship has also been having a good season. Now, I think one of the biggest things here is going to be, like I said, I think the defense is going to be the hardest thing. But I personally think Eagles come away with this no problem. I think they actually played this team last year in the playoffs, and I think that they won. But what do you guys think score prediction is going to be?
I got you. All right. I'm actually having the Bucks win this game.
No.
I have it. I know. I don't think it's going to be a shootout game. I'm going 14-10.
10 bucks.
Yeah.
Wow. Andrew, so he has 14-10 bucks.
14-10, the Bucks. Upset
Yeah.
by Cam. Okay. All right. CJ, what was yours? Did you say yours yet?
No.
What do you think? I don't know. Baker Mayfield, he has shown up in the playoffs.
He has kind of
No,
been a dog this
The
year.
only reason I'm doing this is because Jalen Hurts' yards from passing is nowhere to Baker.
Yeah, but if you look at his rushing yards, though, he has
Six-
Jalen Hurts has 15 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, it's because
you
of
have
the tush
Levante
push.
David.
He
coming-
has 23 passing, 15 rushing. So I don't know.
Have you seen if you have Levante David and Jalen Hurts running straight at each other? It's over. It's over.
I don't know.
So
We're gonna go ahead and move to the next game. So Carter, who'd you have?
I got the Eagles.
I'm going-
I think they're gonna easily pull away. I'm gonna say 35-14.
Dang,
I'm
bro,
go-
I'm the only one that said the Bucks.
I'm going Eagles as well. CJ, who are you? Eagles. Cam,
gonna
Bucks.
easily-
It's okay. It's okay.
I
they're
think it's an
gonna-
upset game.
Whoever you think. Now, this next game, I think this next game is a lot bigger than a lot of people think, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh wait,
We got the Detroit Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams, and what people aren't realizing is this was a QB swap. Jared Goff
Oh,
used to
yeah.
be the quarterback
I
for the
forgot about
Lions,
that.
or for the Rams. Matt Stafford used to be the quarterback for the Lions. Now, Lions personally are one of my favorite teams other than the Cleveland Browns. If I would like to see a team make it, it would be Detroit. But I think that this Rams team offensively could be something special because of a guy named Puka Nacua. If you guys are familiar
I'm gonna
with
start
Puka
reading
Nacua,
off some of
let me hear Puka's. Here, CJ, I want you to go ahead and read me off what Puka has. Now, if you don't know Puka, he's a very underrated wide receiver, having a great season. Actually set the record for most receptions and yards by a rookie wide receiver
Oh, he did?
in NFL history, I
Who
believe.
got
Good
it
for him.
first?
89 yards. Wasn't it Jay Jettos?
I'm pretty. It was. I think Jefferson was on there, and
No, I think it was Jamar.
Jamar was on there as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
it was Jamar. Jamar
Puka-
was number 1.
Puka Nacua. He had 160 targets. He caught 105 of them. He had about 1,500 yards, had 6 touchdowns, but he was a guy that he was averaging better stats than Cooper Kupp. Now for instance, he was injured, but he's averaging about 87 yards a game.
Who?
Matt Stafford is making this offense
Oh
legit
my.
right now. He
I
has
think
24 touchdowns, 11 picks, 4,000 yards.
I think the Rams. I think the Rams won that trade with the Jared Goff, cause Matthew Stafford is throwing 62.6 completion, and his average yards per throw is 7.4.
That is because I think his receivers create a lot of
7.6.
His receivers have a lot of yards after the catch. They're what you call yards after catch, the yak.
But Matthew Stafford has been sacked 30 times.
Right. So that's still a lot. I think here's the thing. You got some pretty good players on the Lions defense. They have also had a lot of injuries. They had the former Eagles player and Saints safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who is currently out for the season, so they've lost there. But they've picked up some good players on defense like Aiden Hutchinson. They also have a good linebacker in Jack Campbell. I think this is going to be a better matchup than people think.
Mm-hmm.
Cam's going to give us some of the Lions stats right here.
All right, so you got Jared Goff with 4,575 yards. You got
David Montgomery
Montgomery with 1,015 yards.
having an awesome season, by the way.
And then I think one of the most underrated receivers, Amara St. Brown,
Yes.
with 1,515 yards. But what really sets me is Kirby Joseph with 4 interceptions.
Yep, Kirby Joseph coming in for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, one thing I want to add, which I feel like maybe you guys don't know because I don't know how much you guys have watched them, but a man named Sam Laporta.
Oh my gosh, he has gone crazy. He's one of the favorites.
He has
What position?
Tight end.
he's a tight end. Kind of reminds me of Travis Kelce in a way.
He's a favorite for Rookie of the Year over
Yep.
C.J. Stroud and Puka.
He has almost 900 yards, 10 touchdowns as a rookie. One of the best tight ends in the league, if not the best tight end. He was, for all those fantasy players out there, he was ranked number 1 in tight end fantasy players this year. But I think a lot of these players on the Lions can make some big things happen. You also have rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs, who also had 10 touchdowns as a rookie. But it's definitely going to be a big game. Lions had a great season at 12-5, number 1 in the NFC North. So, CJ, predictions: Lions versus Rams. Who you got? Lions 12-5, Rams 10-7.
Oh yeah,
second in
not
the
to
NFC
mention
West.
the Rams have an underrated running back in
Kyron Williams. Yes, Kyron Williams. How many yards does he have on the season? Cam?
1,144.
He
Wow.
went crazy. He only
And
played
he missed some games too.
he only played like 9 games.
Yep. So CJ, who you got? Lions or Rams? Rams. Oh, you said Lions? Yes. All right, Lions.
I got the Lions. I'm gonna say the Lions are gonna pull away. I'm gonna say 24-14 Lions.
From looking at the stats, I'm going to have to go the Rams. Even though they've got sacked the same exact... Wait, let me see this again. Okay, let me see. Hold up. All right. So, I got the Rams because Kyron Williams is just a dog. Kyron Williams is a dog. Puka Nacua is a dog. And I think their linebackers and Aaron Donald, I think, is going to go crazy.
Yep,
this
Aaron Donald is he's still that guy.
And
He
Stafford,
still got it.
I think Stafford's at least throwing for 200 yards this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
Who you got?
got Rams over the Lions, 27-10.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's definitely going to be a close game for sure.
I do not.
Andrew, I got Detroit 24-14.
I think what's gonna be the factor is going to be if the Rams defense can hold up. That's what I think is going to be the factor here. Moving on to our next game, which a lot of people are saying this one could be an upset. You got the Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now,
Cowgirls.
Dallas has been having a great season here at the end of the year, but I will tell you something about this Packers team. They're young, they're hungry. Jordan Love showing that he is Aaron Rodgers' replacement of the future. So,
But here's the thing.
all right, speak the truth here, Carter.
Deron Bland is going to absolutely lock down Jaden Reed.
Don't forget they have Stephon.
Nine.
They have Stephon Gilmore.
Yo, he has 9
Oh,
picks.
He does. He is the
Deron
leader
Bland
in
has
picks.
9 picks.
He
He
does
has
have
been
9 picks.
locking down everybody this season.
They did have a. They
And
do have a
he-
diamond in the rough. And imagine if they had. They still have Trayvon Diggs, who he is out for the season. But imagine if they had Diggs too.
Oh
So
my
with
gosh.
Gilmore and Bland coming
But-
off of a great season.
But we're talking about now. We
Yes.
ain't talking about then.
CD though.
Micah
He-
Parsons. What's your guys' opinion on Micah Parsons?
See,
Did you just say mid? You think
Really?
Micah Parsons is a mid caliber player? Wow, that's a bold statement from Cam right there.
I don't like the Cowboys.
Well, we're not being biased here. We're going on just
Oh,
We're
if
going
you're
on-
just going by
we're-
straight, yeah, he's good.
okay. There you go. CJ, what do we got over here with the Green Bay Packers? What kind of seasons Jordan Love having?
Hold on.
Here, I'm gonna help CJ out for a second. So, Jordan Love has 4,159 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and mind, this is his first season as the starting quarterback.
who
Okay.
is? Oh,
Jordan Love. He has been sacked 30 times, which I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But
And he's also putting up with this with a horrible offensive line.
yeah, they're not great. I mean, they still have David Bakari at left tackle. They got some
And
other
they got
good
the-
names.
And they got the right guard Elton Jenkins, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, Elton Jenkins.
Um,
The
But-
thing I'm worried about is I don't know. They are very young, so they don't have a lot of experience. But I mean, they definitely have some good receivers. Jaden Reed, rookie this year, balling out, 793 yards, 8 touchdowns. Romeo Dobbs, second year player, 674 yards with 8 touchdowns. I don't know how to pronounce it. Dontavian Wicks, I believe is his name. I'm a big fan of him. He's got 4 touchdowns, 581 yards first year, and they also still have Christian Watson, who is a
Oh.
big receiver as well. He has been dealing with some injuries though, with a hamstring injury, so we don't know if we'll see him in the playoffs. But they do have an underrated defense. They got Quay Walker with 118 tackles. They have Jair Alexander, who's one of the top corners in the league. But this team, I don't know, they're hungry. I worry about going up against the Cowboys defense, as
Yeah.
Cam has said.
Because this is a really good matchup with Jair Alexander and
CeeDee
CD.
Lamb.
CD
Um,
has been having a once in a lifetime year.
Yep.
that's
So
what I was just about to say. I
CJ,
think-
are you pretty familiar with CeeDee Lamb for the Dallas Cowboys? He currently has 1,749 yards on the year, and I believe he has 12 touchdowns. So he's gonna be a factor. He's been killing it the last couple weeks, and he's on a hot streak. And you know, when Dak gets hot, Dak gets hot. But this is the thing with the Cowboys, I will say. Come playoff time, they don't tend to show up. So do you guys think that they're gonna show up?
I think they are.
No.
You think they are?
No.
CJ, Cam say no. Carter says yes. I'm going to go for the first round. They show up. I don't know about the second round.
All right, so this is why I'm probably not going to pick the Cowboys. I don't like their O-line. at
Their
all.
O-line. I will say they used
Dak-
to have the top O-line, but they're not as good as they have
Dak
been.
has been sacked 39 times,
Yeah.
close to 40.
Not
9
as good as it has been.
interceptions, that's not that bad. But I think Jordan Love,
How many touchdowns do you have?
His interceptions. make up.
36.
36 touchdowns.
He led the league in most picks last
He
year.
did.
though.
And I'm pretty sure he led the league in touchdown passes this year, so that's crazy. So
Went from throwing the most picks to the most touchdowns.
prediction. Let's go to predictions because we got to get to this last game here.
All right. I got the Cowboys 17 to 17-14. I think it's gonna be a close game.
I'm gonna say Dallas. I think I'm gonna agree with Cam on that score. That's a pretty good.
Yeah,
You think that?
That's a pretty good score right there.
Here's my thing. I would love to see the Packers win.
I would love to
would
see
be.
them.
I think it would be such a momentum-changing upset. But I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna say 27-14.
Ooh.
And moving on to our final game. I know a lot of people
the-
want to know about this
In
one.
the NFC, I'm pretty sure, right? Or,
No,
oh.
AFC.
you already know who it is.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland.
We're facing the Steelers.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this.
No, we're not.
This is gonna be very hard for me. We have to be unbiased, or we can't be biased. We cannot
Okay.
pick the Browns
Okay.
just because we like the Browns.
I'm not even gonna try to be biased.
Let's talk about
I don't
it.
even like
I
them
use
that
the
much.
Browns?
I'm gonna read the stats. I'm gonna ask you guys questions. Okay.
All right. Bet.
So let's start with the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, baller,
Oh yeah.
4,108 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions as a rookie. As a rookie, has been sacked 38 times though. He did miss 2 games in the season. Has been absolutely killing it. Was an MVP candidate.
Absolutely
Do you guys think he's the clear runner for Rookie of the Year?
No.
Oh, of course, yes.
I think
yes.
Puka Nacua is gonna win it.
It's going to be close. There's a lot of people that could be Rookie of the
But
Year.
Okay,
what
here.
I am gonna say that
We'll go Cam first.
that man has never faced a god defense like the Browns.
I will say we did play the Texans
But that wasn't
earlier,
with
and
him
we
in.
didn't have C.J. Stroud. So that's the only thing I will say I'm worried about. What do you think, Carter?
So I think the Browns defense can hold up on them, but here's the thing: C.J. Stroud is making Nico Collins and Tank Dell look like all-pro wide
This
receivers.
is true.
And
Unfortunately, I'm not
he
sure if
only
you knew
has-
Tank Dell is out for the playoffs. He did
Oh,
break
yeah,
his
he
leg.
is.
So
Tore
it
his
is,
ACL.
is
And
just
again, how
Nico
many
Collins.
picks does CJ have?
5 in 15 games.
5 in 15 games. That's impressive.
It is very
Yeah.
impressive.
Like,
Now, let me share some of the receiving stats. You got Nico Collins, about 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. Your next best receiver is probably their tight end and Dalton Schultz. He used to play for the Cowboys last year. Has about 650 yards on 5 touchdowns. After that, it gets a little dicey. I mean, you got some players that have played around the league a little bit. You got Robert Woods if he's healthy. He used to play for the Titans and a few other teams. You got Noah Brown. But those
Bobby
guys have only
Trees.
put in 3 touchdowns combined. After that, it gets a little bit unheard of territory
Can I
for the
say
wide
something?
receivers. Yeah, go ahead, Cam.
So I've heard a lot of people at school say they want Denzel Ward or Nico Collins. I do not want that. I want Emerson.
I was gonna say I want Emerson.
I want Emerson on Nico Collins. I think he has that physicality.
Yep, good. That's a
And-
great point.
And I
Great
think
or
point.
and
we
I-
do have Greg Newsome, too.
no.
Greg Newsome's more of a slot guy.
Yeah.
But
Who's
he
their
could-
slot? Who's their slot wide receiver?
I
I thought it was Nico Collins.
no, it's Noah Brown.
No, Neek.
Oh,
It
it
is
is
Noah
Noah Brown.
So the one thing I will say, looking at these stats, I'm worried about the Texans' ability, especially after watching the last game that they just played to get into the playoffs, their big playability. C.J. Stroud's first attempt in the game that they just played last to get into the playoffs versus the Colts, 75-yard bomb to Nico Collins to start the game.
Emerson's gonna strap that.
I hope so. See, this is what we got to be. We can't be biased here.
No, you gotta. Hear me out.
Browns
we're playing zone defense. We are not playing man. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, we're
I-
not playing man.
I think they go man.
because,
no, we're
hear me
going to
out.
play zone.
We're gonna have a safety back there, so if they do want to go for that bomb, it's gonna be a 2-on-1 against Nico Collins.
This is
For
what I'll say.
real.
I feel like you guys may be a little too young to see these things.
I see it.
The Browns are one of the top teams in the league that play man coverage because Jim
Oh,
Schwartz, their
yeah.
defensive coordinator, has praised his defensive backs for how confident he is in them playing man coverage. He said he is confident in his corners going up against any receiver because when you go man to man, there's very little room for them to make adjustments because what the Browns do best is they send pressure. And when you got that boy Myles Garrett coming at you, you
Myles
make
Garrett,
you
Dog
make
pound.
questionable decisions.
Hear me out. I don't think it's Myles Garrett that's really doing anything.
Whoa.
I think Myles Garrett I mean, he's doing stuff, but he's not.
I know my mom
he's
might
not,
be listening to this. I know Cam didn't mean that.
He's not getting to the QB.
She's a big fan.
He's pulling offensive linemen away. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you saw him, he was doing like crossovers in like a game.
Yeah, he
And
takes
then-
a lot of attention.
And he makes Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Tomlinson just get in. And
Yeah.
what's that D lineman who keeps blocking all these passes?
Shelby Harris.
Yes, he's been.
He's been. Well, hold on. Let's.
gotta
we're getting
remember
we're getting a little off topic here. I
You
know
gotta
we wanna
remember
talk-
the fact that the Browns do have Zadarius Smith, who is a very good rusher.
Underrated.
Yep. Here,
They
let's finish
traded
with
for
the
him
Texans.
mid-season.
Let's finish with the Texans real quick. I know we want to get to the Browns. Hold on. So like we said, I think the Texans passing game is probably the thing to be worried about the most. The Browns being the Browns that I know them to be, I'm just so used to being disappointed. And I will not lie, I am scared going against this team because the Texans don't have a lot to lose. They're going in, they want to be the upset. But I think what we can do, if we can shut their running game down, they have Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary. They only have 6 touchdowns total on the year. If we can stop them, I'm confident. And you have to remember, too, their defense, they're not the best, but they're not the worst. They have Derek Stingley at corner. And they also have the rookie that they just drafted. I forget what his name is. He's Will Anderson from Alabama. He's having a pretty good year. He has 7 sacks on the year in his first year. But the last time we played them, Amari Cooper set the single game record for the Browns versus the Texans.
Yo, one of the craziest catches I've ever
Yep.
seen. 2-man coverage, toe tap right there. And he hurt his ankle from that catch.
Yep. So what I will say is we've seen this team. We beat this team. We just haven't beat them or seen them with C.J. Stroud. That's
Or
going to be the
Tango.
You also got to remember the fact that even with everyone on the Texans defense, Amari Cooper demolished them.
Yep, he did.
I was watched that game and finished it. I just looked at fantasy to see how many points he had. This boy had 51 points.
Yep.
Oh,
he had
my
a-
dad had a franchise league. This girl had Puka Nakua and Amari Cooper, but she got out in the first round.
All right. Now, the moment everybody's been waiting for. Let's talk about the Brownies.
Cleveland!
All right. Let's talk about him.
I want to read him.
Joe Flacco.
Dog.
Dog.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Now,
Oh yeah.
13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in 5 games. He has 1,616 yards. He's averaging 330 yards a game.
He's my favorite for comeback player of the year.
Yep.
Bro
Here's-
was on the couch at home, sitting with his kids, taking naps.
here's-
And then he's on the Cleveland Browns, balling out.
Here's
for
the
real.
only thing I'm worried about.
Jerome Ford.
No. I'm worried about if Joe Flacco can limit the turnovers. He has 8 interceptions in 5 games. Okay. So,
You have to think about that. Most of those turnovers are his receivers' fault.
not all of them. Joe Flacco is a guy that will put the ball in double coverage because he's confident in his
And-
arm. But
yeah.
he gets in trouble sometimes. So,
See, Little rowdy.
Here's the thing about him. He's not scared to throw it deep, which I like about him. He's not scared to. But he gets a little bit overconfident sometimes and just
Sometimes.
throws picks.
There's nothing else to do. Hear me out. Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford, they're good. But Jerome Ford needs to stop juking his heart out. He needs to run the ball forward.
I would agree.
Stop just.
I would agree. He
Oh,
does.
oh.
I think the keys to winning, we have to get our run game going. Because once we get our run game going, we make things happen.
Will
Now,
Anderson
Imagine
got
if we had
injured.
Nick Chubb for this game.
I know.
Imagine.
I do feel bad. I hope the I think the Browns
Imagine
are one
if
of the
we had him,
scariest
though.
teams coming out of the AFC. Not just because I'm a Browns fan. I think with this defense,
I think
we can be lethal.
I think we need Chubb back.
Wait, can I see this?
I think we're
Yeah.
gonna do it for Chubb. Now, when we got a couple minutes here left, so who do you think's gonna be the X factor for this game?
I got probably,
Offensively, who's gonna be
Oh.
the X factor?
Um,
I'm
Amari.
going David Njoku.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. David,
Oh.
Having a career year, 800, almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns.
I have
he
a-
made the Pro Bowl.
He did make the Pro Bowl. I believe it's his first
which
ever.
is it's his very first Pro Bowl. We had actually a couple people in the Pro Bowl. I think we had Denzel Ward. We had
Batonio, Ward.
I think Amari made it.
Amari,
Yeah,
and
Amari's
then
a
Myles
reserve,
Garrett.
Miles,
and then obviously Miles Garrett.
So who do you
Duh.
guys think is who's your X factor?
Duh.
David Njoku.
David Njoku.
I have a signed jersey by him.
Njoku.
Njoku. I think Amari's got to have a big game too.
Oh,
But-
of course.
Also, you gotta think about this. I don't know how good I don't know if Miles Garrett's gonna go off this game because they have Tunzel on Garrett, and Tunzel.
And Garrett can go anywhere. He doesn't have to stay on one side.
Yeah,
of the
he
ball.
could. He could probably go to the other side, but I think they would rotate Tunzel wherever he went.
No, Tunzel offensive line don't do that normally.
Oh, that's
If Miles Garrett wanted to, he could play every position.
He
on
could
defense.
probably. Who's the
Except for,
guy?
like, corner.
Who's gonna be the X factor on defense? Now,
Emerson.
Ooh.
I think Jock JOK linebacker.
Oh.
Now, if hear me out, if Grant Delpit, I don't know, I haven't heard if Grant Delpit's coming back.
He's not playing.
If he does, I think him and Jock, just being the sideline guys, can do it. But I think our corners. I think if we can shut them down and then possibly get some pressure on CJ, that's going to be the thing. But I think if you sit in zone too much, CJ's going to have a good game.
I don't think it's gonna be Emerson. I think Newsom's gonna go off.
You think
Yeah.
Newsom's going to have a good
Because
game?
he's gonna. I think if we have locked on Nico, the next person he's gonna look at is Noah Brown.
Oh yeah.
Noah Brown
Oh,
is
yeah.
their slot receiver. We have Newsome on Noah Brown, so it's gonna be whoever is guarding Nico, or it's gonna be who did I just say?
Noah.
Yeah.
So, CJ, we're going to start with you. Predictions. Who's going to win and score?
Don't be biased.
Say what you think. CJ's struggling.
Texas.
You think the Texans? All right. Carter's telling him to get out of the booth, so that's fair. Why do you think Texans?
Because
Because why?
You kind of get reasons.
I mean, like the Browns are kind of like overrated.
Oh,
No,
that'll be another day.
hold on,
That'll be another topic for another day.
hold on. But
CJ, get out of here.
yeah,
All
CJ,
right,
you
Carter.
even.
Carter.
I got the Brownies.
Brownies. What's the score?
Ooh, let the dogs.
What's the score?
I'm gonna say 100-0. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 35-14 Brownies.
35-14. All right, Cam.
I have a closer game, but I'm still having the Browns win.
Ooh, let the dogs
I think it's
out.
going to be a one-score game. I'm doing 28-21. Browns are pulling it off.
I like that. This is gonna be my last remark because we got to get out of here.
Oh, I thought we had one more game with the Steelers.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we do. But I feel like we already know. I feel like they're gonna lose
Yeah.
versus the Bills. We'll just say nobody.
Oh,
won.
yeah.
We don't. I don't
Yeah.
even want to talk about the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Cleveland's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think because also we are out of our kicker for this game, who is one of the best kickers
Oh.
right now in the league.
If there's a Clutch Player of the Year award, he's winning that.
I think
he made
I
it
think
to-
Cleveland wins at 21-17. That is my final thing. But that is going to do it for our NFL playoff coverage. We will revisit for the second round. But as always, I appreciate all you guys being on here. I appreciate all the stuff that you gave, all your predictions, thoughts, opinions. And
Glad to be on here.
we will hopefully catch you guys next time. Also, if you are listening to us on YouTube, go ahead and drop your predictions as well. But you can also find us on Spotify as well. And we will catch you next time. Everybody have
Shout
a good
out
one.
Point
Bye.
League. Shout out Point League.
Shout out Point League.